My name is Cindy Perez. I'm with the Staff Sustainability Network on campus, and we're going to talk a little bit today about sustainable holidays, and we actually invited the Library Sustainability Committee to co-present with us. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to hand it over.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here and to meet with everyone. This is my first time at a Staff Sustainability Network event meeting, so I'm really excited to see what it's all about. As Cindy mentioned, I'm with the library. I'm part of LSC, the Library Sustainability Committee, and I've been with the library for 3 years this past November, and I started with LSC as soon as I heard about it, so I've been in the LSC that long as well.
So I'll stop sharing my screen so that you can share the guide.
Perfect. And I also wanted to try sharing the files. I'm going to test that out right now. I think I saw where to do that. So give me just one moment. I created a guide this year also for sustainable holidays, so I figured I would just share that with you all as well, since that's what we're talking about here.
Oh yeah, I see that in the chat.
Oh, awesome, perfect. And then I'll just share my screen. Okay, so this is the first page of the guide. So LSC has been doing the gift giving guide for about 9 years. I don't know if Kim looked that up at all, but I found it going back 9 years in our records. So that's pretty cool. And we review it and update it every year. Each LSC member will take a section and we'll go through and check the links, make sure they're working. We'll try and add more content to our section. And this year, because of COVID and everything, we also checked to see if the places were still in business, if they were open to the public, just any circumstances like that that would make it difficult to work with them in any way. And this is usually on our intranet, but then we've started putting it into a PDF form so we could share it with everyone and give it to more people. So we just have this little blurb at the beginning. I probably won't go through that since I don't want to take up too much time. I think I spent 45 minutes talking about this the other day, so I'll just be a little bit briefer. We have a number of sections in the guide. Support local San Diego, where we have, here you can see there's farmers markets, some gifts for places in the area, nonprofits. I'm going to go over a couple of my favorite options after I give a brief overview. Shopping fair trade and fun gift ideas. These ones, excuse me, has a lot of really good options, some clothing, active lifestyle, food. I really like the food section, and some more information about conscious decision making, which I think is really important. And so that's really helpful. For animal and plant lovers, this is the section I work on pretty much every year. So I have a lot of favorites there, but I picked out just a couple to talk about. Secondhand treasures, we talk about thrift stores that you can go to. I guess right now it's a little bit hard to get out and go shopping, but some of them might have some shipping options. And probably a lot more relevant right now, DIY stuff. It's probably a lot cheaper to just find some scraps, some clothing that doesn't fit and remake it into some kind of cool gift that you can give someone. So there's a lot of really good DIY links in that section. Ideas for wrapping gifts greenly. One of the things that I saw in here, I think it's called furoshiki, which is like a wrapping with cloth. And there's some really good links there. I don't know if we're going to talk about that at all anymore in this meeting, but there's some really good links and videos. And I think I want to try that for all of my presents next year because it just seems really useful. You can give material that's reusable and it looks really pretty and unique. So that one will be really fun to check out. And let's see. But so we had a couple extra sections. I don't know when we started doing these, but what to do with extra stuff, which is like what to do with leftover materials, and for more inspiration books and magazines you might enjoy. And there's actually a couple books there that I'm gonna probably purchase pretty soon. Let's see, let me just see. Oh, Zero Waste Home, the ultimate guide to simplifying your life by reducing your waste. That sounded really cool. So I'm probably gonna be checking that one out. And I'm getting ahead of myself though. So I'm gonna do a quick go through of the sections and kind of point out some specific things. But does anyone have any questions about it before I go into the little specific items? And I saw someone post in chat, but for some reason I can't see it when I'm sharing my screen. Okay, cool. So in the support local San Diego, there's a lot in this guide. But the San Diego Zoo, I thought was a really good one right now because they have cameras on a lot of the displays. So even though you can't really go to the zoo, you can still give a gift and they can, check out the cams while they're waiting for things to be safer again. So that's still a good gift option. And some local nonprofits. There's one at the bottom here where we saw that they were asking for donations because they were hit pretty hard by COVID. So that one's called the Wild Willow Farm. Yeah, it looks like a really cool place. I don't know if any of you have tried CSA before, but those are, you could give gift subscriptions of those. And one that we recommend a lot is Imperfect Produce, where they basically send you strange looking fruits and vegetables that can't get into the stores, but they're still, fine, edible, just perfect food for you. And so it's a bit cheaper and it's kind of fun too. So Imperfect Produce is what that one's called. I don't think we've had anyone who's done a subscription to that one yet, but I've done some of the other CSAs and those are pretty nice.
Yeah, and can I jump in really quickly? Yeah. I'm part of a CSA and I feel like right now it's such a good way to get fresh produce without having to go to the grocery store. A lot of them have pickup sites and mine does drop off or they deliver it. And so I'm getting a lot of fresh produce and I'm not having to go out to the grocery store like, once every 2 weeks to get fresh produce for that.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, because if you can get it from a local farm instead of, I don't know, from Whole Foods or Amazon Fresh or whatever, that's probably a better option. In the conscious dining and cooking section, there is a place called Soul Much, and they use ingredients that are from rescued food. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, that they just take food that would have otherwise gone to waste and make delicious cookies, as they say. So that was a really cool one on here. We had some other shopping around town ones. I'm going to start with Earthwell, actually. Earthwell, a lot of us on LSC have used, and Kim told me that they're actually doing delivery right now, which is really handy. But when they're not doing delivery, you can go into the store and refill containers, your own personal containers, and then you just pay for the product that you're purchasing. And it's great so you don't have a lot of waste or plastic from all the like soap containers that you buy over and over. Dirt Don't Hurt, I think another one of our members tried this. They have skincare and oil care products, and it's San Diego company and it's women owned. So it's definitely a good business to support. And if you want a guide to some Black owned businesses in the area, you can check out the Buy Black San Diego resource as well. So those are some really helpful resources for supporting local places and also being sustainable. In the shopping fair trade section, under the conscious decision making, I think these are something that everyone should be aware of. This category or label called 1% for the Planet, and it's for nonprofits whose member businesses contribute at least 1% of their sales to environmental causes. And then B corporations are a business that have to legally take into consideration how their business impacts the environment and the world, basically. And I love these categories, these labels, and I think that I'm going to be using them a lot more to figure out where I should purchase things from. And some resources in our guide use them, like here. You can see that Clean Canteen and Patagonia both have both of those labels on their company. So definitely a great companies to shop with, because they, proclaim that they, and, are labeled as doing so, taking care of the environment, basically. Let's see, food and snacks, love it. I have some bees wrap. I haven't really been able to get it to work yet, but it's really cool. And we also use lots of lunch skins, and I am so into SodaStream. We probably use that at least twice a week. So these definitely would make really great gifts, and they help protect the environment. So that's one of my favorites. I've used Etsy a lot recently. This is in the handcrafted and home goods section, and it's really cool. There's so many different things you can buy. I was actually looking up bath gift sets where they have bath bombs and bath salts and things in gift sets, and you could find basically anything you could want, and you could support. You could specifically find people in San Diego if that's what you're really interested in, and you can just support the local people, the local crafters, and it's really cool to see their work. So definitely recommend Etsy. Life Without Plastic. Oh my gosh, this website is so cool. I wish I had looked at it before, a lot earlier this year, but they have a lot of just regular everyday things. Like they had a food container that was made of metal and had a bamboo lid, and they just have a lot of really cool everyday items that don't use plastic, which is really what we need these days. This kilowatt electricity usage monitor under technology is important because it helps you keep track of the energy usage in your life. So I'm sure anyone would appreciate a gift like that, so you can keep track of how much you're using, especially over the holidays. It's a really energy intensive time. In the animal section, I wanted to point out this farm sanctuary. They let you adopt a turkey on Thanksgiving instead of eating a turkey. So I really love that. I don't eat meat myself, so I haven't done this yet, but if you know someone who usually eats a turkey, you can maybe adopt a turkey for them instead, and they'll maybe not have turkey that year. Senior dog rescues. I have a soft spot in my heart for senior dogs. I actually did a little bit of additional research for this, and I found that there's also a Lionel's Legacy in El Cajon and Frosted Faces in Ramona. This Muttville Senior Dog Rescue is from all over, so it's not specifically local, but it's got a really cool name, and any senior dog rescue is good in my book. Let's see. I know I've been talking for a while, so let's see what I can get through. Seed Savers Exchange. This one's really cool. There's some really crazy looking fruits and vegetables on this website because they have heirloom seeds available, and you can purchase a set for any gardener and then when they have their veggies and stuff grown, they can send in the seeds and keep the Seed Savers Exchange going. And I think that would make a really great gift for anyone who's into gardening. The honeybee sanctuary, it makes me so happy to see sanctuaries for honeybees. They have a small store, so you can support them by buying some of their items, and you can also donate to them. And it just has a place in my heart because bees are extremely important, and I worry about them a lot. I'm sure everyone here does. Let's see, I'm just going to do a quick little thing. Some of the books. Resources Mysterious Galaxy almost went out of business, but fortunately it's now under new ownership, and so you can find the link to their books here. The Buy Nothing Project, you can find this on Facebook, and it lets you share and exchange things in your community, so you don't have to buy things. You can just find someone who's getting rid of it, and vice versa. You can get rid of stuff for someone and give it to someone who needs it. And like I said, the DIY section, these are like sugar cubes you could make, hand stamped wooden utensils. There's a lot of different craft projects in here you can take a look at. I definitely want to try some of these, but there's so many to look at. Here is the wrapping section, and oh, I mentioned furoshiki. Oh, I don't know if I said that right the first time. Anyway, it's furoshiki, and some of these links lead you to the YouTube videos and some more information about it. Beeswax wrap is also really cool. Or I also was reading about how you can buy like a bowl or a pot for your gardening friends, and you can use those as the wrapping instead of putting it in something that gets thrown out. And then just some other links. Recycling your tree is really important if you use a real tree, which is the more sustainable option. There's a link here for San Diego Recycling and how to get your tree recycled. And TerraCycle, Jen's here. TerraCycle is amazing. You can check out their company here. And I don't know, I haven't really been out, but I think on their website, a bunch of stores say that they send their bags to TerraCycle. So you can look on their website to see which stores take recycling materials. And I already talked about some of the books in here that I was really interested in. And let's see, I think there was one other one that I wanted to mention. Oh, Handmade, The Modern Woman's Guide to Made from Scratch Living. And it's a book that talks about how to be self-sustainable by living off the land. And that's definitely something I'm interested in. So I thought this would be something interesting for me, but there's a lot of other options here that you can give to others who are interested in sustainability and things like that. So that was the guide. I also wanted to talk a little bit. I don't know, am I okay on time? Do I have a few more minutes? Okay, cool.
Yeah, go for it.
Just thinking about what's been going on this year and the situation we all find ourselves in, it's probably, speaking for myself, it's been difficult to do gifts this year. And for people who are maybe a little bit more creative than me, the best option really is to make gifts for people. Even if you are not that great at crafting, just anything you can make. Like one of the options you could do, I don't know, I used to do this when I was younger. I would make like gift certificates or IOUs offering my time, like I'll do the dishes for you, or I'll bake you a cake or something. So I feel like now is the time to kind of bring that back and give these kind of coupons, I guess you could also call them. And especially as adults, now we have more skills and we have more in our repertoire to offer to people. So I think that's probably a really easy way to give someone a gift without really spending that much money. I also found online this really cool website called Goldbelly, and it lets you buy food from anywhere across the United States, like restaurants from all over. You could buy cheesecake from Junior's. I think that's a fancy cheesecake place in New York. And like you could buy bagels from New York, and you can have them sent to anyone in the United States. So that's kind of fun. It's like that goes to sending experiences rather than sending physical items that someone will that will either break and get tossed out, or that someone may not want and get tossed out. So I think you'll find a lot of that in our guide too, but just a little bit extra giving subscriptions, experiences. There's Airbnb actually has an online experiences website. So you can take classes through them. You can join them for like animal rescues or cleaning beaches or other things not related to sustainability as well. And Masterclass, I don't know if anyone has heard about that, but you can give subscriptions to that. And I think offering your time is probably one of the best gifts you can give. And there's lots of virtual experiences you can share. You can virtually go to Disneyland together because you can actually watch the rides like you're on it in the front car. And that's kind of fun. I think that would be a cool experience to give to a family or your kids or someone. And there's lots of online virtual board game websites that you can use, and you can play with anyone, anywhere. So creating like these virtual experiences that you can share with each other is also a really great way to give someone a gift, and it doesn't have to be something you purchase. But yeah, so our guide has a lot of options like that, where it's just experiences or subscriptions. And LSC is always willing to give you more suggestions or to look into more stuff. Well, I am. I guess I shouldn't speak to LSC, but I am. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know or email me later as well.
Thanks so much. Thank you for sharing. That was an incredibly in-depth guide, super helpful. I know for those of us who are still doing Christmas shopping or who are thinking about what to give people this year, that's going to be super helpful. And I really like that it's local to San Diego. A lot of it is like, I think that's great.
Okay.
So I'm sharing my, can everybody see my screen? All right. So this second half is going to be kind of a share out. Like I think we all have a lot of really cool experiences, and from what I was seeing in the chat, a lot of people sharing. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you incorporate sustainability into your holiday celebrations. Maybe get some ideas from others. So I'll go ahead and share my screen in a minute, but I want to give everybody time to join. If you go to menti.com and then type in this code, you should be able to join and answer the questions. I'll also post a link in the chat. So let me just do that really quickly. Where is my chat button? Okay. Alrighty. So the first question is, how do you and your family incorporate sustainability into your holiday celebrations? The link is in the chat, and then you can also just go directly to the website and type in the code. So I'll give everybody a few minutes to fill this out. Is this working? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. And I think once we start getting submissions, they should start popping up on the screen. Wow, so we have a lot of really great responses. Does anybody feel comfortable to kind of share a little bit? I can start. So one way that my family incorporates sustainability during the holidays is we basically we do Secret Santa, and we create a very specific list of things that we want. And I think it's been really helpful because in previous years, we were always trying to guess what somebody liked, or maybe try to guess what they would want based off of their hobbies. And then you might not get the right thing, or it might be something that they don't really want or use. And I feel that that is where a lot of waste comes from, by giving people things that they might not use or that they're going to donate or throw away. So that has been super helpful. I haven't gotten anything that I didn't already want. So anybody else?
I'll chime in. Yeah, my family does. I have one half of my family. We always make sure we give each other lists and that we're buying stuff from the list, just like you, and making sure we get stuff that they want and not wasting that way. But then the other half of my family, I think they've never really been comfortable with the idea of lists. And so it's always been stuff that they've had to return in some way or something. But this year we just decided not to do gifts at all. So that's one way to be more sustainable. And also, while doing research for the guides and stuff, food waste is a really big problem. So I know I made a ton of food, but I made sure that I froze like half of the leftovers so that it doesn't actually go bad and I can eat it later, because that's a really important thing too. And of course, saving wrapping paper, I'm always very careful to pull off the tape instead of tearing it and like folding it and saving it for later, because the wrapping paper is really pretty, but it's not really sustainable. So might as well just reuse it.
So funny. I do that too. In previous years, when I was meeting up with my family, I would go around and collect all of the wrapping paper and smooth it out and like fold it up. And my family always was like, why are you so frugal? That's what they would say. And I was like, oh, I'm being sustainable.
Yeah, I think for me, I've tried to focus more on kind of experiences around the holidays. So like planning hikes or, going on a picnic and, kind of trying to focus on spending more time together and less time on gifts, I guess. But also I really like the sustainable packaging idea. And sometimes it can be fun, like you can find the crossword section in the paper and then wrap a gift in that. There's fun little things you can do.
Thanks for sharing, Jenny. Anybody else have any ideas that they would like to share? There's a lot of really great examples on here, I think. I really like this idea. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Oh, I was just going to say, I like to make ornaments a lot because they're small and they're sweet. It's a sweet gift. You can also use it as a tag sometimes on a present if you're giving, like, just to have an extra little ornament. This year, my daughter drew some pictures, so I did have them like printed at Costco, but then I put them on an ornament so we can give that as a gift. And I think it's like, at least for me, I love handmade gifts. So I love getting them and giving them. I think that people treasure them a little more anyway. So that's what I've been doing. And then also I made some cream cheese mints, which usually they're like a family tradition of mine. And I froze them so that I can just give those away to people and wax paper with, trying to be like as sustainable as possible with my materials. I am so appreciative of the PDFs that were sent because I've been trying to do my own research online and it's really time consuming. So I'm so grateful that you guys put this together. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, the gift guide is amazing. You guys put so much work and research into that. And I love the idea of making handmade ornaments. Something that I think is really, really simple for handmade ornaments is actually doing salt dough. So it's like I think it's equal parts salt, equal parts flour, and then you can kind of use that as like a clay style. I've seen people do imprints on there, like they'll do handprints and little things like that. So that's another really great option for ornaments. So we have one more question, and let's see if I can do this. And that is looking forward to the new year, because I know we're getting a little bit close now to the end of the year. I think this is our last SSN meetup before January, and so I'm just interested to hear, does anybody have any New Year's resolutions related to sustainability for 2021? And the link should be the same, so hopefully you guys all have the opportunity to answer. Okay, so I think I'll give it another minute. Okay, feel free to keep the responses coming. I just wanted to start maybe sharing out a little bit. I can go first again, just to get the ball rolling. For me, I think one of the bigger things that I started doing this year was gardening. I moved into a home that had a compost bin in the backyard. I had no idea how to compost. I read a bunch of books and watched a lot of YouTube videos and started composting. And then I started a garden like 2 or 3 months ago. And I'm trying to grow my own pumpkins. It has been a process because my backyard is very dead. And so I kind of have started to try and hand pollinating some of them. I know Tamara was talking about saving the bees. That's really important because hand pollinating is really long and painful. And if you don't get them in time, then you probably won't get any pumpkins. So I think going forward, I want to start growing more of my own food. And I hope that's something that I can do more of in 2021. The nice thing about San Diego is we kind of have like an all year round growing season. So I think it'll be good next year now that I kind of know what I'm doing. And I saw a few gardening ones on here.
I can go next.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went to a hardware store in Ocean Beach and I saw these San Diego seeds. So I bought some and then I looked up the website when I got home, and they actually have a lot of information about growing food. And then I found that they had an online class. So I decided that's what I got as my holiday gift. And now I can't wait to start the class and learn more, because I've grown tomatoes before, and radishes and things like that, but I want to kind of learn more about the soil and other, like putting compost in there and stuff like that. So kind of learning about more things involved in just the planting of the seeds and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's really cool to hear about the local San Diego seed company and that they have information, because I feel like a lot of gardening resources aren't necessarily built for San Diego climate, where we have just a year-long growing season. A lot of them will talk about winter and all these things, and I'm like, that's not really a thing in San Diego. So yeah, finding resources that really take that into account has been a challenge.
Yeah, so it's a good resource.
Anybody else like to share?
I'll talk a little bit. My fiance and I are hoping to get a new place. We're not sure where, but we need a new place, and just been thinking about all the new things that I want to get when I'll have my own space, and it'll be really nice. But my goal is definitely to only get things that are not plastic, sustainable materials, and to start being better about buying bulk and making sure the food I buy isn't wrapped in plastic. And just every time I eat something that I have to throw out, something like the container, it always just makes me twinge, because I know it's just going to end up in a landfill making a big pile of trash. So definitely my goal is to try and just incorporate everything I know about sustainability more in depth into my lifestyle once I have my own place that I can control.
Yeah, that's great. And I feel like a lot of resources were shared earlier, and you shared the resources. So I think that you're probably in a good place. Like the Buy Nothing group, Facebook Marketplace, I found has been super helpful for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I haven't tried that one yet, but I think I wrote it down, so I'm going to check that one out too. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Would anyone else like to share?
There's another Facebook group. It's Gifting Without Borders. It's like Buy Nothing, but it doesn't, it's not by your neighborhood. It's all of San Diego, I think.
Oh.
I don't know if I have, it's just Gifting Without Borders. I don't know if it's just San Diego, but I think it's just San Diego. I just like that one a little bit because you don't have to be like in a specific area of town.
Yeah, I like that, especially because I feel like sometimes you might be really limited to who your neighbors are and like what kinds of things they want to share, or if people are even using Facebook in your area. Let's see, I can share another one unless anybody wants to go. One that I put on here is hang drying laundry. So I was in another SSN meeting, and one of the members was talking about how she hang dries all her laundry. And I remember just being so mind blown by that. I don't know why. I think because I've just grown up so used to the idea of having a dryer that I didn't even consider hang drying. And it's something that I've started doing. And I've been doing it kind of consistently. Sometimes I get a little bit lazy and I just want to throw everything in the dryer and walk away and not think about it. But learning how much energy a load of drying your laundry takes has been kind of a motivator for me.
Cindy, I can share just on, I have a big drying rack I bought a few years ago and I absolutely love it. And then I can just have it in our garage. If it's warm out, I take it outside on the patio and it's just really nice. I know other people have lines and stuff like that, but the drying rack is just amazing. And it folds up really small. So at the end of the day or whenever, it just folds up to hardly anything. And it really saves a lot, I think, by doing that. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love to learn more about that if you'd like to share. I just use my hangers and some things I lay flat because I don't want them to get like stretched out. And that's been working okay for me, but I think if I had a dedicated hang dryer, then I probably would do it more often.
I do not hang dry my clothes. I tried it for like maybe one time, but I do love the idea of doing that. I also have the like wool balls for when I do use, I mean, obviously I do use the dryer, but I have the wool balls instead of dryer sheets, and you can make them yourself too out of wool on just by felting some wool, which are better for the environment as far as like not using dryer sheets. If you do have to use the dryer. Yeah, those. And oh, those are really cool. I like the designs. That's neat. So those you can buy already made, but then you can make them as well. And my dog destroyed 2 of them. So I decided to try to make them myself rather than buy a whole nother bag for just 2 more. So I got a whole thing of wool. I'm going to try it out. Hopefully I'll do as good of a job as those that you had, Kim.
Yeah, I use dryer balls too. And they actually really reduce the drying time, I've noticed. It used to take me like a full hour to dry a big load of clothes, and now it's, it's significantly less than that. I have been looking into different options for laundry. I was looking at Drops. It's kind of like this like detergent website where they send you every 4 months they send you laundry detergent in a cardboard box, so they don't use plastic. And then they also have carbon neutral shipping, so I think they do carbon offsets. But I saw in the chat some mention of homemade soap, and that's something that I've been looking into too, because I think it would be a lot cheaper to do it that way. So unless anybody else would like to share, I think I'll go ahead and share just some very quick additional resources. I think we can probably also get the library sustainability's gift giving guide on our website and maybe share it in one of our newsletters. But aside from that, and I think you had shared some of the resources that we had on our resources slide too. So there's a guide from New Dream about how to simplify the holidays, and I think simplifying the holidays is a really good way to reduce waste in the first place. The city of San Diego has a Christmas tree recycling program, like was mentioned earlier. And then we also have a few more resources, 13 sustainable gift tips, and then also I linked the Library Sustainability Committee's website because I think that you guys have a lot of really cool projects and ideas and resources on your website as well. So I can go ahead and post the links in the chat, but then I think we'll also be making the slides available. Usually after a presentation, we'll create a write-up and then we'll share it in a newsletter, so you guys will have access to all the resources. And let me just grab those links. Okay, so this one is the link for New Dream. I'm posting it in the chat. They have specifically a Christmas/holiday time guide on this website, but they also are kind of broader than that, and they talk about Easter, they talk about Thanksgiving, about other holidays, and how to kind of simplify those and reduce waste during that time. This is the link for the San Diego Christmas tree recycling program. They have multiple drop-off locations across San Diego. I think they accept all trees except for, they don't accept artificial trees, and they don't accept commercial trees, which I don't think any of us will be doing that. Commercial trees meaning like you're a commercial business and you're dropping off like a bunch of trees after an event. And then here we have the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. They have kind of some tips for sustainable gift giving as well. And then the Library Sustainability Committee's website. And then we also have the PDFs in here, which I will repost for those who may have joined a few minutes late and missed them. I'm sorry, there's a plane. Or Tamara, do you think you can post those again in the chat for those who joined late?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks so much. I wanted to just thank everybody for being here today, for sharing out. It was a really interesting discussion, and I learned a lot of new ideas. And I also wanted to thank Tamara and the Library Sustainability Committee for coming and giving this talk and sharing their really, really comprehensive guide.